All right, good morning. Let me know if you can hear me all right. See me, hear me. How's it looking? Mobile stream. Let's see. You can hear me? Sound all right? Morning. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Speed round. We're not messing around today. I got a pool to sit by. I got the background noise. Should be all right. It's good. Starbucks? What about Starbucks? All good? All right. Good to hear. If you're here early, you are here for the juicy stuff. I went to a Rangers game last night and they lost 5-3. So, great time. Every time I go to a Rangers game, they lose. Besides the Stadium Series. Stadium Series was a great time. No, I'm not at Starbucks. I'm at the JW in Tampa. Tampa Bay JW Marriott. It's very nice hotel. Game was fun, but we lost. So, unfortunate. All right. We're going to try to get this out in 30 minutes. Not going to sit here all day. What time do I wake up? 6 a.m. 6 a.m. sharp. Get your ass out of bed. Let's go. All right. Here we go. We are first economic calendar. Do I have my ability to draw lines today? I don't know. We'll have to see. But Friday, today, 8:30, Empire State Manufacturing Index. I'm not too worried about it. 10 o'clock, consumer sentiment. Those are the two we're watching today, right there in front of your screen. That's that. How do I use my Demo Pro? Let's see. No. Okay, there we go. There's my lines. All right, we can do it. All right, here we go. Let me just double check on the chat, make sure everything's good. I think we're good. All right, here we go. NASDAQ. You guys saw yesterday just an insane continuation of hold of this daily 20. Just would not give up. Again, that daily 20 is just a level to be watching. You cannot short into it. It's continued to show us that. We cannot short into the daily 20, and we definitely don't want to be short anywhere around this 18,150 and this daily 20. Anywhere in here, we want to be really careful of being short, right? All in here is just not the place that we want to be entering shorts. All right, so every time we come down to this level, we get those wicks, we get those wicks, we get those wicks, and we continue to get those wick reactions out of this level. Here, right here, yesterday we wicked down into this level, we bounced, right? So we do not want to be entering or creating new short entries down in this 18,150 area. Very clear, don't do it. It has not provided any type of good trade shorting down in this zone, okay? So that is what we walk in today and we understand. First thing we understand is I'm not looking to short the market down in this zone. That's if we do not break below it, of course. Today, you guys can see we have this sort of downtrend that we've been on in the short term, but we have this flat bottom that continues to hold. Let me go ahead and delete this line. So we have this very clear demand down below, 18,150, daily 20 SMA, very clear. The supply that we continue to reject is up here yesterday, that 18.4, and we still have that 18.5. All right, so 18.4, 18.5. If you're looking to set up shorts, it's at 18.4, it's maybe at 18.5. These are the two levels that I would be looking at for potential short entries if we bounce and if we reject. That's what I would be watching first. Yesterday, I think the most important thing, actually it was the most important thing yesterday, was to not long into 18.4. This was the crucial realization of yesterday, right here. 18,400 was a perfect rejection yesterday, and if you guys were in the chat, you know we said we are not longing into this 18.4 early morning. We had an early morning upside move into that 18.4, trapping longs, right, and then instantly just sort of smacking them in the face. Anyone that was longing into supply yesterday got absolutely smacked. We're not doing that. We're not longing into supply. So if we see a move back higher into 18.4 today, we're going to watch this for rejections. We're going to watch to see if that level rejects again. That is very important to be paying attention to today. The thing that I don't like about today, guys, to be honest, the thing I do not like about today is Friday. It's end of week, and what you can see here more than anything is that I don't want to buy anything right now, is that the NASDAQ is within a trading range from yesterday, right? We have yesterday's range right here, and we are still within that trading range today. I don't like that for continuation trades, all right? I don't want to be getting it's Friday, okay? Let's give it a break. I don't want to be going sweaty balls to the wall trading within this zone today, okay? So you shouldn't be trying to set up longs, set up shorts in random spots today in between yesterday's trading range. I don't think that is going to work out good for you if you do that. You're going to want to wait for some kind of a test up to this 18.4 or some kind of a test down at this 18,150. you're only going to want to set up trades here or here today. If you start dancing in the middle, you start feeling like you can't control your fingers today, you have to short the SPY here, long it there, short it here, you're going to get all screwed up. Okay, so don't get involved in that. If you were doing that yesterday, you got screwed up unless you caught it absolutely perfectly all day. So 18.4, 18.150. Those are the two levels you're looking to play trades at today. You're looking for maybe rejections up here, you're looking for demand holds down here, or you're looking for the breaks of these key levels, right? Those are the only trades you're looking to take at those key levels today. All right, that's the NASDAQ. Let me check on the chat, make sure everything's still good. Looks like we're still good. All right, QQQ. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this here. Yesterday, what did you have to pay attention to yesterday morning on the QQQ? You had to pay attention to our 442 level. We had 442 rejections yesterday, on Wednesday, and that 442 level was the perfect, absolutely perfect rejection point yesterday morning. Right here, yesterday morning, we popped into 442, we nailed off that level. So, we know 442 is still very weak, or very strong supply, and we can see market is still sort of weak this morning. Little pop, but we're sort of breaking back down. 30-minute chart, where is the level we are not shorting into today? It's clear as can be. We're not entering new shorts at the daily 20. Okay, we can see right here, we have this 436 level that held very strong yesterday. 436, 436, 436, and again yesterday we moved lower into 436. We had major wicks back to the upside. We are not entering new short entries in the 436 zone. Very dangerous, don't get involved in it. 439 is sort of a middle of the seesaw type level here. You guys can see 439. We've had previous reactions here, 1, 2, 3, right? Little bit of action there yesterday, but a little bit sloppy, which I don't like. So 439 could be a level to watch, but I would not be shorting under 439. Why? Why are we not shorting under 439 today? Because we're not going to be shorting under 439 into the daily 20. Doesn't make sense, way too sweaty. Right? I don't want to be shorting here right into the daily 20 and then getting involved in this wick action that could start to occur. So if we're going to short today, we're either shorting on a break under 436, right? A break under a very clear low from this entire week, the low of the week, right? This week's low is 436. So if we get a clear drop under that 436 today, right, and we get a nice reaction and rejection at that 436, we could try that short if we get that move. The other short that you're looking for today is a pop into 442 and a fade off 442. If you really want to long this market today, then you're looking for a drop into 436. You're looking for that same wick demand to step up, that 20 SMA demand to step up, and some kind of a push back to the upside off that 436. So really, you could have this 439 in your levels, or 439 in your chart, but honestly, I'd probably take it off. Right? I'd probably take this off, this 439, and I would focus on two levels today, 436 and 442. These are the two levels I would focus on today and only trade at these two levels. I would not get involved in trading in the channel that has been created very clearly. I'm not buying that, in this zone, okay? I would be very careful getting involved today on Friday, involved in this channel between 442 and 436. I would want to make trades either here or here, all right? At the channel high, channel low. Okay. All right. ES. Come on, don't fail me now. ES. We got to turn that level red real quick. 1 second. This needs to be red. We got to delete that. How do I delete that? I always get mixed up on the keyboard. Here we go. We're going to add, that's going to be red right there. All right, so the ES, yesterday morning, what did we talk about yesterday morning? We talked about being cautious of longing into the high of the all-time high, right? All-time high, 52.56, 52.50. You guys can see what happened off that level yesterday. Same exact level we rejected here is what we rejected yesterday. Very same supply. no reason to be entering longs into that level yesterday. Very clear, and I hope you guys did not get caught in that. Today, you broke under the 52.35 level right here, right? 52.35, 52.35. Yesterday, we broke under it. What are we doing right now as we speak on this live stream? We are rejecting the previous lows right here. You can see right here, 52.35 was Wednesday's lows. Today, we've just popped into it, and we are rejecting that level. So, you are watching a lower high to form here on the S&P 500. Right? We're watching a lower high right here, potentially forming at that 52.35 level. If you break down off this 52.35, you're moving down into 52.10. 52.10 was the level that maintained yesterday, right here. Right? We can see 52.10, very strong maintain. If we move lower into 52.10, be careful of this action. Right? Look at what happened at 52.10 yesterday. A lot of chop, a lot of maintain. We don't want to get too sweaty shorting into that 52.10 level. So we have a very clear sort of channel here on the ES as of right now. We have 52.35 to 52.10. It's about a 25-point range that we want to be careful trading in today, right here. All right, we can see that 52.10 to 52.35. If you break under 52.10, and you start to reject it, that could be a short entry, right, for more downside. If we get above 52.35 today and we hold above it, that could be a long entry. Or, right, if we get a pop into 52.35, look for that fade. If you want a long, look for the drop into 52.10 and look to see if that demand starts to step in again for maybe a little short-term demand bounce, potential long scalp. The only thing that I have concerns on for shorting this ES is how strong every sort of low has been, right? You can see right here, every low at this uptrend has really held. So if we do move lower under 52.10 today, we still have to be a little bit careful here of maybe a little uptrend hold. So I'd have this trend on your charts right here. You can see this trend that has sort of been holding, and I would be careful if you start to see price action get close to that trend line. I would be a little bit cautious of that holding, okay? The strong demand below is right here, 51.80. 51.80, very clear demand. You can see held relatively close to that yesterday. I'd be careful into that 51.80. All right, so 52.35, 52.10, 51.80, uptrend, I'd keep that on your charts. The thing that's very interesting today, and probably the most important thing that I'm reading here, is this right here, okay? This right here. What are we seeing happening right here? We're seeing a potential lower high on the ES. That is something to be very focused on. If the ES maintains this lower high into close, into the end of week, this could be a sign of maybe a little bit of weakness stepping in. If you create this lower high and then create a lower low alongside of it, right, then you'd be starting a downtrend. So you have 52.50, 52.35. This is a lower high right now forming. If this lower high sticks today right here and we make a new low, right, then this could be starting a weakness, sort of a weak downtrending move. Something to pay attention to there on the ES. What happened to my head? I don't know. I'm not reading your chat. If you guys are talking nonsense in the chat, I'm not reading it. All right, SPY. You guys can see SPY yesterday, big rejection off this high, 518, very clear supply high that we rejected. The level I would be careful into today is 512, right here. 512, all right here. I'm probably going to delete this level off my chart, to be honest, because I just don't really see it respecting that well, nor do I really care about it. I'm more worried about 512 to 516. You guys can see the range right here between 512 and 516. All right, we have 516 supply and we have 512 demand. I don't really have much interest in getting involved in a 4-point range on the SPY today. What I would want to see for any kind of real action, real trades, things that I would actually be interested in trading would be a break and hold under this 512, right? Or a break and hold above this 516. If we get under 512 today, right, and we start to reject 512, This is your beginning of weakness back towards, and maybe maybe the SPY needs to retest this daily 20, right? Maybe that's where the SPY needs to come back to before any kind of strength shows up. This is something that's been happening across many stocks. They've had to come back down to that daily 20 to gain momentum, to gain strength. You can see right here, 508.50 is that daily 20 SMA. If we break under 512 today, if we see 512 get weak, that's where I would expect us to move to over the coming days, or even today. Today it would be pretty aggressive to look for that, but maybe over the next coming days, you see that pull back to 508.50. If the SPY is under 516, I would be very careful longing this market. I would not want to be long back into these lows and back into yesterday's rejections. All right, you can see how clearly the SPY rejected under the previous lows. Look at this day over day. All right, look at the SPY here day over day. This is Wednesday's lows. Look at yesterday's rejection points. You are not able to get back above Wednesday's lows yesterday. That's very key. All right, you need to understand that. Understand what the SPY is doing in this structure. The SPY was unable to regain the previous day lows yesterday. That's weak, right? That should keep weakness in the market. So I would not want to be getting aggressively long if we are still under this 516 level. That's what I would be paying attention to today. Okay? That's that. What happened to my head? I don't know, man. Russell, very weak yesterday. Russell actually, wow, Russell broke down under some of these very key levels we had. And wow, look at what the Russell's doing right now. Holy shit. Russell, very clear. Look at this. We had this 2066 level on our charts. Let's delete that real quick. Let me zoom out. Let me understand fully why this level is here. Yeah, I mean, look at this right here. This 4-hour chart. See this on the Russell? This low right here at 2066, 2070. Look at how you're rejecting that right now. So if the Russell stays under that 2066, 2070, I'd expect more weakness towards maybe this 50 SMA, towards 2035. The other thing that you need to pay attention to in the Russell, what did the Russell just do yesterday? It broke under the daily 20. The Russell is the only indice that's under the daily 20. That's very key. That is a first break of the daily 20 in some time here on the Russell. Right? You've seen it holding. Yesterday, cracking below the daily 20. That is a sign of some weakness to come. So pay attention to that Russell. Notice how it's under the daily 20 here. And notice that that could potentially lead to some further weakness if we stay weak today. Dow Jones, Mike Jones, Daniel Jones, Chris Jones, who else Jones? Indiana Jones. Whole bunch of nothing. Don't get involved in the Dow here. This is a whole bunch of nothing. Channel chop on the Dow. Not interested. All right? That's that. How many people we got in here? 1,600, 500 likes? Damn. Ugly. All right. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. Tesla. Man, was Tesla weak yesterday, and man, did it go down further than I expected. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect Tesla to really be that weak at that 165 level, but holy shit, look at what it's doing right now. So, Tesla, yesterday, what did we get, right? Remember everyone in the chat? Who remembers the chat yesterday? Who remembers the chat? Oh my God, Tesla's going higher. Bam, straight in your face, okay? Stop thinking Tesla's gonna go up. Please, stop. It's not gonna happen until something is sustained, something is a controlled upside over like a week time period. Until it's out of this war that it is under. It's under a war. It's being battled by some big selling. Do not long Tesla on pops, okay? You are going to get smacked. And it continues to do that. And you can see yesterday it did it again. So, Tesla, even today, this is crazy. The fact that it's staying under 165 right here in the pre-market is very weak in my opinion. That was that extreme low. I'm not sure I really want to show you guys on this chart because I'm going to have to go all the way back. You guys should be aware of that 165. You guys are aware of the 165 level. Find it on your own charts. It's all the way back on the daily chart from like 2021, 2022. Maybe 2023, I'm not sure, but go back. We've talked about it. you can see right here, look at how clear that rejection of 165 is right now this morning. So what would I be looking for today? Look for the pop in the 165, look to see if it fades. If we pop in the 165 and you start to see that weakness, that could be your short entry today on Tesla. If you get above 165, I would not short Tesla. It's possible that Tesla needs to come all the way back up to 172, okay? If Tesla regains 165 today, if we see strength form over 165, then we are going to push higher towards that 172 level again. All right, so this is potential short on a pop in the 172. It would be an aggressive potential short at 165. You could try the 165. I'd be a little bit more hesitant to try that one than I would be to try to short 172, okay? However, right now, that is a extremely weak rejection of 165. That looks sort of ugly for Tesla this morning. 160 is definitely a strong level to be watching. I would not enter shorts at the lows at 160. If Tesla is weak again like it has been, which I'd be surprised, I would be surprised to see this move on Tesla today. If you get this and this and this, that is extreme weakness. So if you do see a 160 break today and you see it starting to reject, you could attempt it. Just know that 160 is a major level, and 165 is probably your better bet to look for a pop and fade. Pop and fade, man. Pop and fade. All right. Nvidia. I don't know, man. I think Nvidia's starting to lose it a little bit, and Nvidia's sort of the last thing holding up, sort of holding this market a little bit. Nvidia definitely not showing as much strength as it once was. That's for sure. We can tell that it's a little bit different than it was in that straight up sort of manic upside. We're definitely seeing some sort of cracks here on Nvidia. 890 being very key. You can see it's rejecting this morning. Yesterday, rejecting that 912, right? It's starting to create these lower highs. High, right? It's starting to create lower highs here on the chart. So if we stay under this 890 today, this could be a potential fade level, right? Look to see if Nvidia fades off 890, look to see if it pops, and then look to see if that's a short entry today. I think Nvidia needs to come back down to, why is it doing this? I think Nvidia needs to come back down to here. This is really where I think Nvidia needs to fade to. I don't think there's going to be much strong buying until it tests these lows again. 850, maybe this daily 20 SMA needs to catch up. But I would personally not long Nvidia here until we get a test of 850. That's where I'd really want Nvidia to come down to before I try to long anything here on Nvidia. The only other potential long I'd say is if you get over 890 and you start to really regain that strength, then maybe you try that long over 890 today. But I would not be longing Nvidia if it is under 890. That is a very clear structured rejection right now. If we zoom in on this 15-minute chart, it's very clear to see how Nvidia is turning the previous lows into rejection points. You do not want to be longing into 890 or under 890 on Nvidia. Just wait for it to break and hold above and prove that it's going to regain that level before you try to long this stock. Okay, 890, very key on Nvidia. That's what I would be watching today. AMD, it did exactly what we wanted. I mean, we could not have read this more as a textbook. It was perfection. We talked about AMD coming back down to this 184, 185 area, right? Coming back to retest these previous highs, retest after the breakout point, and that is exactly what AMD has done. Today, you're watching 184. While I think this is a potential long entry on AMD at 184, I am not going to be just blindly longing this stock, okay? I'm definitely not going to be entering today. I'm needing to see more confirmation that this level will attempt to hold. All right, I'm not going to I'm long AMD, right, because it's at this level. That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking to see now, I'm hawking AMD. I'm going to be watching it. I'm keeping it on my watch list. I'm understanding where it is. And if I see AMD today into next week start to really hold here and put up a really good fight, then maybe you can start to set up that swing trade long off this retest level. But as of right now, I do not see strength on AMD. And really, what I'm seeing more than anything, which is concerning me for even trying the upside, is a rejection under the daily 20. That's not good, okay? You can see right here, this daily 20, you do not want to be longing if this thing is stuck under this daily 20 SMA, which it is showing right now. If anything, if AMD breaks under 184, it could get very weak, right? If it breaks below that retest level and breaks under that 184, breaks back under this breakout point, we go to the 4-hour chart. If AMD breaks back under this breakout point right here, all right, let me go ahead and zoom in more. If you break back under this, and you start to see rejections under 184 today, this could be a short entry, right? And maybe AMD needs to come back down to this 165, okay? Maybe this is just a failed breakout move above this 184 level. So I would watch 184. I would keep an eye on that. I would wait to see what happens at this level. This is very key today on AMD. All right, let's go to Coinbase. Coinbase, if you guys are in the chat, you know we longed this thing yesterday. You guys can see right here. I'm sorry, longed. I'm an idiot. You can see we shorted this yesterday. I took shorts on the voice chat yesterday on Coinbase, held them into today. I think they're going to be up very, very large this morning. Coinbase, a really key break of structure yesterday with some Bitcoin weakness. Coinbase is moving down back into its daily 20 SMA. So here's Coin, right? And what has Coin been doing? Let me check on the chat, make sure everything's good. All right. So what did Coinbase do yesterday that was very key? Coinbase has been turning these lows, these previous highs into new lows, previous highs into new lows. Coinbase yesterday, it was the first time that Coinbase broke that structure, right? We broke that structure. We did not turn a previous high into a new low. We did temporarily, but we failed to hold. And that was the key reason why I took Coinbase shorts yesterday, looking for downside. Today, I would probably be profit taking on these shorts as we approach this 210, 212 area, right? We have this 210, 212 previous high, and we have this daily 20 SMA that's going to be stepping up, most likely holding Coinbase higher. So I would not be shorting into 210, 212. I'd be profit taking on the swing trade into that level. If we get a pop on Coinbase, I would look for a fade at 245 right here. This would be my next short entry on Coinbase on a pop and fade into 245. If we break under the daily 20, then then game's on again, right? Then it's, we're firing those shorts again. If we break and hold under this daily 20, under this 210, 212, right, then I'd be looking to fire those shorts again for a move down into this 192 area. All right, that's Coinbase. Meta, it's sort of in a channel, right? I'm not too in love with it. You can see right here, it's sort of stuck between this 505 supply, which we've been talking about, and I think this 480 demand. You're sort of stuck right in the middle of that channel. What is that, about a 25-point channel between this 505 and this 480. The thing that I would be watching today on Meta is whether it can break below the daily 20 right here. This is more than anything what I'd be watching on Meta today. Does it break under this 489 level right here? 489, 489, and you have this daily 20 at 489, which held yesterday. If Meta fails to hold or breaks below the 489 level, I'd expect downside, okay? I'd expect downside into 480. If it breaks under the daily 20, if it breaks under 489. But you cannot front run that idea because Meta could maintain here and it could just sort of pop back into the channel high at 505. So 489, 480, 505 on Meta. Microsoft. What an awesome hold. What an awesome move on Microsoft. It held over that previous all-time high, which was 421.30 yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this. We had that previous all-time high on Microsoft, and yesterday you had a perfect pullback and long right at that level, right here. I don't know what rectangle this is. Let me move this out. So you can see right here, right? See this hold right here, 421.30. What was that? What was the 421.30 level? That was the previous high, right here. 421.30 was this previous high, right there. We held above it perfectly yesterday, creating upside. Now, if you missed Microsoft, if you are not long Microsoft as we speak, you are not longing it randomly today because it broke out. You are waiting for, you guessed it, the retest, okay? That is what you have to do. Wait for us to pull back to this previous high, wait for us to come back down, see if this thing can hold over a few days, right? And then there's possibly a new long entry. I would not long Microsoft today unless you pull back to this retest level. 421.30, the previous highs, I would look for a pullback towards this level here today before longing Microsoft. Amazon, really nice breakout, but you have a very key level above at 180. You guys can see right here, 180 is approaching very soon. You have 180 right there, 180, and you're sitting right under 180 this morning. So we are not going to be longing Amazon right into the supply highs at 180. I would want a pullback down towards this 176. That's where I'd want us to be long. So I would not want to be long here into 180. I would want to be long on a pullback, see if this can go back to 176, and then see if I can catch an entry here at the 176 level for that next upside move. The other long entry, if the market really gets strong and Amazon just sort of has some brute strength, is obviously just a break and hold over 180. But I would not be setting up longs into 180. It's a very sweaty long into that supply level above. Google, really awesome 4-hour trend break on Google. You can see right here, we had this sort of 4-hour downtrend that what Google was on. We broke above it, we held above that 140.60, and we've had some nice upside. I would be careful on Google into this 146.70. 146.70 looks to be a little bit heavy. What would I be looking for here on Google? There's two things. The first is the more interesting long would be all the way back down to this 140.6, right, on maybe a pullback and a nice maintain here for another upside move. Or the other thing you could watch if you're getting very aggressive on it would be a hold of the 50 SMA. Yesterday we held above the 50 SMA at 143. You can see right here we held above that yellow line, that 50 SMA. Look to see if it holds again above that 50 SMA. If that's the case, you might be able to catch a long off that, but I would personally want to be long back at this demand level that we pushed off of. Look to see if this can pull back with the market potentially and see if it can hold above that 140.6. I would be very careful longing into this 146 area up in here. ARM has been sort of sitting at this 135, still can't get above 135, and potentially, in my opinion, potentially creating a bear flag, okay? It rejected 135, it rejected the daily 20. This could be a bear flag move into 135 for the next downside move. I'd be watching this 135 very closely. SMCI, I really don't see anything on it. It's still above that 1080 area. If it gets under 1080, that's where SMCI could start to crack, in my opinion. You have to hold above 1080 on SMCI. You have to hold above this previous high right here. If you break under 1080, I think you'll crack towards this 20 SMA at 1000. 1080 is the big level on SMCI to be watching. Netflix, no, it's okay. So it's back over 615. You need a full day of a hold over 615, not just a 5-minute hold, not just a 2-minute hold. You need a full day above 615, a solid hold above this level, in my opinion, before longing this. Yesterday, if you got a little excited yesterday on Netflix and tried to long it over this 615, you got crushed. Okay, you can see right here, Netflix got above it for about 20 minutes and failed right back under it and could not get above it the rest of the day. So what would I want to see on Netflix to actually be interested in longing this is a solid hold pretty much all day over this 615 level. You're above it right now, so it is interesting, but I really need to see some confirmation that that level wants to maintain before trying the next long entry on Netflix. 615 on Netflix, watch to see if it holds. All right, let's go to TSM. TSM, I believe, is coming back down to this 135. Looks very similar to AMD, guys. Very similar to AMD. You can see it's sort of been making these lower lows, lower highs, but it is coming into a very important demand. Right here at this 134, you have a previous high, you have a previous low that created very major upside, and you're coming back down into that 134 level, which is also the daily 20. So I would be focused on what TSM does here at 134 today. I would not set up the longs today. I would not try to catch it today. You don't need to be a hero getting in at the exact low. I would want to see some base form here, right? You want to see that foundation try to get formed in this 134 before just going ahead and longing it. So look to see if TSM comes back down. Look to see if it starts to form this 134 level. This could be an interesting pullback long, right? Potentially creating somewhat of a flag here, right? Maybe a little bit of a flag or a little bit of a wedge, or a little breakout, little descending triangle, right? If you can get above or hold above that 134, it could start to create that setup. But it is way too early to just be jumping in long here yet. I'd be watching to see if it can form over 134 today. I think that's about it, guys. Apple holding above this 170. You can see the very clear supply level that needs to break on Apple. It's clear as day. It's right here. It's 174.50, right? Look how clear that is. 174.50, 174.50, 174.50. All day yesterday, 174.50. It very clearly needs to get above that level. 174.50. If Apple gets above that, you could get a little bit of an upside move towards that daily 20. But I would be watching 174.50 on Apple. Very clear level there. Did I miss anything that I want to look at? Boeing. Maybe look at Boeing. We'll look at MU. I can be your hero, baby. Great song. Great Simon. Boeing MU we'll look at. Guys, if I'm at, if I'm 40 minutes into a live stream, you bet your ass that I've looked at AMD. You bet your ass I've looked at Nvidia, Netflix, Tesla. This is all the sort of ancillary stocks at this time. Disney, I can kiss away the pain. I will stand by you forever. Adobe Ultra tanking, yep. How do you guys like my voice? I know it's good. All right, MU, Boeing. MU, really nice hold of the daily 20, right? We can see that. Look at that daily 20 hold yesterday on MU. See this? Look how strong that held. You need to hold above 93. You need to hold above 93 on MU. That's the key. Hold above 93. Look to see if you get that. Boeing, I think probably down to 176 is the right spot where it's going to go. You guys can see right here, 176. I'd assume that's where Boeing tests. The downside is just sort of iffy. But what has been the trend here, right? Someone tell me. Okay, someone should be able to tell me what Boeing has been doing and how to short Boeing. Who can tell me? I'll give it one more minute. There's a very clear trend here on Boeing that you should be looking at, and how to potentially short this if you think it moves lower. What's up, Larry? Hope you're doing well, man. Pop and fade. Thank you, ZD. Appreciate that. Thanks for answering. You can see, look at this. Early morning pop, fade all day. Obviously, this was a drop, but you did get a pop, and it faded the rest of the day. Yesterday, early morning pop. What did it do the whole rest of the day? Faded. Okay? So, you're not walking into today getting horned up about shorting Boeing. It's not what you're doing, because if you do that, you're going to see this. Wait for Boeing to pop, look to see where it fades. The thing I do not like about Boeing is it just fades at random spots, right? I don't know why it faded at 185. I don't see anything why 186, 187. Oh, it's almost every dollar, actually, now that I look at it. 187, 186, 185. All right, so what are you watching today? Let's just have a line at 184. All right, let's see if it's 184. So let's watch 184 today. Over the last few days, it has faded at every dollar. All right, look at this. 187, 186, 185. Let's watch 184 today. Let's see if it pops into 184. Let's see if it does the same thing. You are not walking into the day shorting Boeing at the open if it's been popping and fading the last 3 days. All right. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Let's get a quick recap, and then let's get the hell out of here. Wow, NASDAQ staying pretty weak. Guys, the major thing to be watching to close this week is, do we make new lows in the week on a Friday? That would be, I think, a little bit little bit concerning for the market, okay? You have had a low that has been formed here around this 18,150 this entire week. You can see right here. This entire week we have held 18,150. All right, you have Monday and you have a test on Thursday. You've held above that 18,150. You do not want to be short right into the weekly lows, but if we do get a break under the weekly lows today, that could get pretty aggressive. So 18,150, that's a big watch today, guys. Watch out down below at 18,150. ES, it looks to be 5210. 5210 on the ES. Look at the lower high that's forming right now. 5210 ES and 18,150 NASDAQ, and that is what we watched today. All right. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. If you guys could press that like button for me. We are out in Tampa right now at the JW Marriott in the lobby. Everyone's staring at me like I'm a crazy person, but that's what we do. We're making money. They're not, so we're doing a good job. All right, guys, press that like button if you could. Subscribe to the channel if you could. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Go have a good weekend. Don't get crazy today, please. If you had yourself a good week, don't screw it up. Don't be dumb. It's Friday. Be smart. Protect your capital. At the end of the week, that's what we do. Monday, new opportunities, fresh week, better opportunities. Please don't trade 0DTE if you're not comfortable with it. And I will see you guys on Monday. Actually, I may not see you Monday. Shit. I may not see you Monday. Maybe. Hold on. When's my flight? Hold on here. My flight on Monday is... Don't be dumb. That's right. Oh. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be seeing you guys Monday. My flight board's at 9:15, and I'm definitely going to be in the airport by probably 8 o'clock. So, yeah, no live stream Monday. No live stream Monday. But I will be here Tuesday, and we'll be in the Discord today, yes. All right, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace and love. Plur. See you later.